definitely alcoholism. But my dad. The older I get, the more I'm like, oh, he's more fucked up than I thought. Like just constantly, every year.
Especially you're a dad. How old's your son?
He's 9. 9. He doesn't get to see my kid. He's out.
Oh, really? It's not allowed?
He's done. We're done. Yeah, because we were having a family reunion, and I have a niece and nephew, and my nephew was like 14 maybe, and he's a spindly dude, and like glasses and the nerdish looking type, and he's walking through everyone's outside barbecuing and having a good time. My dad's sitting on the couch watching a game, and my nephew walks through, and my dad looks at him and goes, "Geek," and I'm just like, what the fuck just happened? That's your fucking grandson, you stupid asshole. Like, what the fuck was that? And he's like, he can handle it. I'm like, well, who gives a shit if he can handle it? He probably gets enough of that at school.
Out of nowhere. Yeah, exactly. That's his friend.
It's just, thanks, I love you too, Grandpa. All right, you fucking loser.
Go get me a hot dog, you fucking loser.
So my nephew goes, I go, does he do that a lot? And he goes, yeah. I go, okay. So call him a lush. And he goes, what? I go, next time he says something to you, look at him and go, you're a fucking lush. And so about a half hour later, he comes out.
That's only 30 minutes. I love that he's hitting it after he's been yelled at. He's like, what? Fuck them. Wait, give me a half hour. Fucking pussies. 30 minutes later at the same party, not next Christmas.
Same party. He comes out and he goes, he was really surprised. I'm like, fuck yeah, he was. Because that's the shit I never did, but now I'll teach you. And my sister's like, what did you do? I go, I told him to call Dad a lush. And she goes, oh, that's fine. But that's the kind of shit I grew up with, right? He used to call me, I'd be like 14. He'd be like, you little teetotaler, because I wouldn't drink.
Is that a term? What's a teetotaler?
Teetotaler, I think, is a term from like the 50s that's like you're a guy who doesn't drink.
Gotcha.
So you're a fucking pussy. Yeah, basically. So I would get that all the time because he belonged to this thing called Native Sons of the Golden West, which is just a drinking club. Like just full, like they do charity shit.
I'm a native son, goddammit. I'm a native son.
I'm from California, unlike you, Oregon. You fucking piece of shit. So he tried to get me into those things when I was a teenager.
What, the club, like a club?
Because you would officially be able to join it when you were 18. I found this out because he had me join. But yeah, he would bring me to. You
were officially a member of the Native Sons of the Golden West?
I don't pay my dues, but yeah, he.
Oh, you paid your motherfucking dues. You got a lifetime motherfucking membership, Dave Anthony.
The dues never stop. Yeah, so when I was young, he would bring me to barbecues and stuff and try to get me to drink, even though I was a teenager, and I'd be like, dude, I don't turn it loose with you. I turn it loose with my friends. I'm not interested. So when I turned 18, I got a card in the mail, and it was that he'd started paying dues for me. And then he was like, hey, can you come over on this day, like at 6? And I was like, yeah, okay. And he goes, we're going to go somewhere. And he drives me up to this thing, and it's a ceremony. And he didn't tell me. It's my initiation ceremony. It's dudes with swords up, and you walk through the fucking thing, and you get it.
Why do they have fire swords?
I don't know. Because that's California.
Knighted. Sir Dave Anthony of the Sons of the Golden West. Swords.
Yeah, so I got initiated. The password.
What do you do?
The password's Truckee. If you ever want to get in.
Truckee, is it?
Yeah, they were like, the password's Truckee. I'm like, for what? And they're like,
if the mafia ever calls, Truckee. You should have said that when the mob called you. All right. I'm not gonna say that, but Truckee. Oh, all right. He's sons of the Golden West. So what's the ceremony?
When you're handcuffed out in the forest and they're about to shoot you. Truckee, man! Truckee!
So, stand down! He's one of us. Stand down.
Put your swords away, boys.
Swords! Sheathe your sword! Now! He's one of us.
Oh God!
Even they have swords. What the fuck do you have a sword for? Oh, fuck. They had a meeting where they're like, what can we do? Like, you want to get muskets? Nah. You guys, I have a cannon. Nah, that's way too much attention.
Muskets.
I got swords. Yeah, let's do swords, man. We're on to something.
Fuck, it's
That's sword
California,
shit.
right? We're sword guys.
And is it only you that day, or is this like a graduation?
There were
like
other dudes.
Several others as well.
There were a lot of kids that were like 18.
Kids!
They were like, I don't want to do this, and their all dads are like, you're joining the crew,
Fucking pussy.
and all the 18-year-olds are like looking at each other like, how do we get out of here, man? So Truckee Man, I could go to any of their, what do they call? I don't even know what they're
Like the Legions.
They're like their clubhouses or fucking
like
whatever.
Moose Lodge or
and you
something.
could knock on the door and be like, hey man, Truckee. And they're like, he one of us, get in here.
Get in.
He was native born, this one.
Native.
But it was just a drinking club. They just went there to get fucking shit-faced.
It was
on
a lot
Thursday
of
night.
all guys. I'm
All
assuming.
dudes.
All dudes.
They do have a native Daughters of the Golden West, but they have it's separate. They're not in the same clubhouse. Or
I would
whatever you
love
wanna
it if
call
they were like 10 times rowdier, shit, just tearing
so
the place
great.
up, just fighting and shit. They don't have swords. It's like fucking machine guns and shit. Like
You gotta run a gauntlet.
pussies over there.
Fucking 2x4s. Whoosh.
With nails. What are you getting initiated? I'm just trying to get a beer. This is what the fuck happens around this motherfucker.
I didn't want to drink with him.
I was gonna say
That's what it was. It wasn't that I didn't
yeah.
drink. It was that I never wanted, starting at a very young age, ever to show him any fucking joy. I never wanted to show him me ever having fun.
And he just wanted to drink with you. That's what he wanted to do. His bonding was like,
Drinking.
we're going to drink together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my thing was, I'm going to shut you out of everything in my fucking life. So I emotionally was already fucking done with this guy. I mean, because he was a drunk and he was abusive and he didn't fucking care. And he got remarried to a woman who was just a drunk and would just call me a piece of shit. And like she would just be like, she would, this is what she would do. In the middle of the day, she would put on a negligee, like a see-through fucking like negligee thing. She would walk through the house. She would then run the bath. She would get in the bath and then scream about how awful I was. And and this was my Sunday with my dad. And then I would be sitting on the couch. And
She's just yelling from the back?
Yeah, like she's literally just right down the hall. And I'd be sitting on the couch and we'd be watching whatever sports. And she'd be like, what a fucking piece of shit that fucking kid is. And he never.
Like you had left or something and she's just telling him?
Yeah, but just.
Cocaine's all stepped on. I can't stand him. I really can't. Oh, he's still here? Hey, Dave.
Yeah, yes, also, I did not step on the fucking blow. Why am I getting shit for that? So he would just sit there and never say a word, and this went on for...
He wouldn't say anything to you
ever,
either, like, don't
or
listen
her.
to that, don't
He
listen
never.
to that.
It's like he never said to her,
He
"Don't
just
do
tuned
that."
it all
Which
out.
I would just fucking sit there and be like, "Wow, this is a shitty Sunday."
Yeah.
'Cause that was every fucking Sunday. So I fucking hated the dude. Like I just fucking hated him. When I graduated from high school, we had to write a letter to our parents, and I was like, "Okay." And I just wrote, "You have never." I remember the first line, "You have never been there for me," and then I just went off.
Damn.
And my English teacher read it, and he was like, "This is what you want to give your dad?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Okay." He goes, "I get it," because he knew what my English teacher was super great guy, and he knew what the deal was. So he's like, "Okay." So at graduation, I hand it to him. We're supposed to all hand it to our parents, and then we go back and get in line. And afterwards, he comes up to me and he goes, "Ha, I got what you were saying. It was a great joke." And I was just like, holy fuck, dude. That was the most from the heart thing I've ever done.
How infuriating is
And
that?
I was just like...
He's over there laughing at it. He's just like, look at that. You called me a piece of shit right here in the third paragraph. Oh, my God, man. This is great. You're like, you motherfucker.
And then it says you're a cunt at the end. That's so great. You're such a good kid. The one time that So
we talk about this because there's always, even if you have a good parent, there's in boys, there does come a point where you just feel like you're the cock of the walk. You can take them. You know, I think it was 14 for me, and my dad very quickly put me on the ground so fast and gave me that. I was like, I am not ready for this.
Yeah, we were. I think I'm 14. I wanted to go to a Rolling Stones concert. My dad came over to pick me up. My mom was like, okay, let's talk about this because I don't want him to go because the guy he wants to go with clearly smokes pot. He's older. He did smoke pot. So I'm in the living room in there, and at this point I'm completely out of control. Like I'm just a fucking maniac. And they're like, no, you're not going to the concert. I'm like, why? What? And they're like, because we know he smokes pot and he's a bad influence. And I wanted to be like, I smoke pot. Dad smokes pot. Everybody here smokes pot. And my mom said something. And I was like, shut up, slut.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then I looked at my dad.
My boy.
I have never gotten a high five like that.
Only time you ever saw your dad cry.
I just remember looking at my dad and the fucking anger that was coming off him. I was like, oh, this is about to go down. So I ran.
Where?
I ran
out of the house?
Out of the house, down the stairs, down the street, and then next to our house is just a giant open field, and there's a like a walking path that people would go to cut through. So I'm running up that, and I get just about 20 feet up, and I am just fucking full body tackled.
Your dad?
Yeah.
Damn, he had wheels, huh?
Yeah, it was surprising. I was super surprised.
14.
I thought I was just like, I'm gone, baby.
Yeah.
I was not gone. I just get taken down, and then we come up, and I'm like, let's fucking do this, and just crack. We're not doing this.
He punched you?
Yeah. He put me down.
Where did he get you? In the face?
In the stomach, and then once in the face and once in the stomach.
Two? He took 2 shots?
Yeah, one stomach first, and
this
then
one's
crack.
for your mom. This one's for me.
You won't drink with me.
And then his girlfriend's coming up there. Hold him down. Hold him down.
In a negligee see-through. I want him to see my pussy while I tell him he's a dick.